Hi, I'm Lisa Ann Abernathy.
My name is Roger.
Hi, I'm Khadija.
Sierra,
Kathy,
Pilar Martin,
Inger Hill,
Brandy Moore,
Grayson Abernathy,
Fred Wood,
Donald Olin,
Francis Spinoso.
I'm taking Spanish.
I'm learning Italian,
French.
Italian,
Spanish,
French,
Spanish,
Japanese,
Spanish,
Italian.
I wanted to specifically do it with my sister because we had the same experience level at the start.
Because I wanted our team across the board to get as much as we possibly could as a unit.
When you're in a group, you can have a conversation.
The individual class gave me the flexibility that I needed.
because it's a more intimate setting.
As a busy mom and having like limited time, I think having that one-on-one instruction is really good.
eventually to become fluent, feel comfortable being in a Spanish-speaking country, being able to get around, and in the long run be fluent and conversational.
My family is from Spain, so I wanted to be able to communicate with them better.
I really wanted to be like somewhat conversational.
Just to speak.
To speak.
to become fluent.
I want to eventually become fluent.
To be fluent.
Probably a 6.
6 or 7.
I'd say 7 out of 10.
Say 7.
An 8.
I'm honestly at an 8 right now.
Probably an 8 or 9. I'm pretty happy with how far I've come. I would not have gotten to this point without the Language Hub. Those one-on-one sessions were really critical in building up my vocabulary, really teaching me the structure of the language so that as I did learn new vocabulary, I knew where to put it and I knew kind of how the language worked. There was a lot of interaction and a lot of opportunity to actually speak and listen.
The speaking, which is my personal goal, she really like starts that out of the floodgates with the language.
It's the whole approach to teaching. It's the way the language is taught that has made the difference. It keeps not just the interest going, but it builds the knowledge base so quickly. It is the best way I have experienced to learn a language.
She's not traditional in the sense where it's like you have a textbook, you're looking at the textbook every week. And I like that.
And it's not the traditional be in a class, read this book and, memorize words. It's so much more helpful.
It's geared towards me, which I really like.
way more personal.
Because you're presented with this is how it works. It's not just a vocabulary-based piece. This is the mechanism of how you build a sentence. This is the mechanism of how you speak. This is the mechanism of how you talk about yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That is massive because you immediately start to learn how to speak and converse.
I really like the fact that it's conversational and it's geared more towards us as individuals versus having a set lesson plan.
It's all about learning the mechanics of the language.
I love having that grammatical understanding and that conversation usage because it feels like more than just taking in and throwing back out the same facts.
I have a lot of aha moments. And all I can think is, I never really got that in high school.
I've tried other things like some of the apps where, you've got a lot of repetition and the repetition is a little bit discouraging because there's only so many times you can practice, the horse drinks water and little funny phrases like that. And frankly, it's not very applicable. And so with the Language Hub, one, being able to adapt to the actual vocabulary that I needed was really helpful. And then two, the adaptability with, once I comprehended something, we didn't need to go back very often and repeat that because we were able to move on to new topics. So we were able to go much faster and probably much more in depth than I would have with some of the other courses.
I was working with my teacher and she was like coaching me through a children's book. And it was the moment that I could read the line completely because Japanese is written in a completely different way than how English typically is. So reading it down like this and going, oh my gosh, I understand what's happening was such a validating moment. And it was something that we both, like myself and my teacher both shared. It was like, wow, I just read this entire sentence and understood it on my own.
One time I had to show her around my house and talk about the different rooms and, just forcing myself to sort of on the fly describe to someone in another language where I live, what my house looks like, what room I'm in, what are the things I'm seeing. I thought that was really helpful, like a good like brain exercise.
The first time that I just spoke freely without really needing to think about the conjugations and think about the translation in my head before saying it was a pivotal moment for me.
The instructors at the Language Hub really go the extra mile to, one, make sure that, like, for example, in group, that everybody in the group understands and has a chance to participate.
I cannot wait to get in and learn more.
Really glad I did it.
I just hope that, like, if I can be, of any encouragement for others, that it can't, like, learning a language can be done. It is doable, even if you're really busy, like, and it's just so fun. If you can open your mind to that and your heart to taking on a new challenge, I think you would soon see that it's just something so cool to do.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. I would recommend.
I think it's a great way to learn a new language.
It's really, really helped me a lot.
I've learned more in less than a year than I ever did in 2 years of high school, 2 years of college. Apps that I've used.
I love the teaching style, and everyone that I've met with Language Hub has been really great.
Yeah, I can highly recommend the Language Hub for learning a new language.